And welcome back. We're here with political commentator, Newsmax insider, and all-around great guy, Clarence McKee. So glad to have you. Clarence, I want to talk about this UN ambassador position.
Question.
This is a big thing on the minds of wonks like John and me anyway. It needs to be filled after Nikki Haley announced that she would resign earlier this week. Many were disappointed to hear that. The president, however, said he had had a conversation with her about that, so it didn't seem to come as a surprise to him.
Now, to the delight of many conservatives, those in what we call the MAGA movement, allies of President Trump.
Is it MAGA or MAGA?
You know,
MAGA.
That's good. MAGA. MAGA. I guess it depends where you're from in the country. So Dina Powell, who used to sit on the National Security Council, she was an ally of H.R. McMaster. Many in the America First movement, probably a better way to put it, well, they weren't the biggest fans of Ms. Powell. She is now out of the running. However, our ambassador to Germany, Rick Grenell's name has also been floated. Full disclosure, Rick is a friend of mine, and that's the guy I'm pulling for, but because I think that he has the credentials. He was the longest-serving U.S. spokesperson to the United Nations. He and the president are in lockstep on the agenda. He's been very successful.
And he's done a great job. Yeah,
he's done an amazing job, but he's confirmed. He's already confirmed. He moves easily in.
Easily walks right in, so he would, of course, be my pick, too. But now we're hearing that President Trump may prefer a woman to fill the position, which I find interesting. He's reportedly expanded his list of possible candidates. Politico reports that the list now includes breast cancer fundraiser and former U.S. ambassador to Hungary, friend of Newsmax, Nancy Brinker. She's also a Newsmax host, as I said, and good friend of our network in many ways. Politico notes that Trump's aides believe that appointing another woman to the position would shore up female support before the midterm.
I mean,
so how
wisdom
do we think this would?
Yeah.
I mean, Clarence, do you think that appointing a woman is going to make a big difference in terms of? I also heard Kelly Ayotte's name mentioned.
I did hear that as well. Yeah.
Do you think that Nancy or Kelly would be preferable to Rick Grenell for the midterm purpose, just for that purpose?
No.
Because why?
Get a good person. You know, Nikki Haley's going to be a hard act to follow.
Yeah.
But somebody like Jean Kirkpatrick, people like that, or Rick Grenell, I don't think they're talking about the 30% popularity with women. That's what they say. I don't think that's a biggie. The people and the women want somebody who's good and strong. I don't think making a woman the ambassador is going to make that big a difference.
But let me be devil's advocate for a second. Rick being a friend of mine, devil's advocate on behalf of Nancy Brinker. She was ambassador to Hungary at a time when the Baltic region was very volatile. So she has the foreign policy chops, the negotiating chops, right? She founded Susan G. Komen, arguably the largest cancer foundation, charitable foundation in the world.
For her own sister.
For her own sister.
Who died
She's
of breast
a
cancer,
former U.S. chief of protocol. And so you have a person here that, to me, is a bona fide candidate to be taken seriously.
Well, I didn't say a woman shouldn't get it.
Right.
I just said that shouldn't be the number one criteria. But if Brinker's got all these qualifications, and she's tough, and walks with a big stick, and follows the president's lead, fine.
Well, there's a lot of news to be made if it is a woman. You know, if it's Rick Grenell, I think people like you and I will be very aware it happened. People who are specifically interested in what happens in the UN will be interested. But I don't know if Joe Sixpack somewhere in Iowa is really going to know that Rick Grenell made that transition. However, or maybe
I don't think they care either.
Maybe I should say Joanne. However, yes, Joanne Sixpack. Okay, Joanne glass of wine. Anyway,
Chardonnay.
I'm the Chardonnay. So the woman who lives in the Midwest, if she is interested in a woman and in the Trump administration's appointments to women, she's probably going to be aware if a woman is selected. I personally, I do not walk that track. I hate identity
I agree
politics.
with you, though. Let me ask both of you, because you're both students of politics for a long time. We all are. Most Americans, I would, even the ones who are somewhat politically wonky, couldn't name 4 ambassadors, right? I mean, most Americans couldn't name 4 ambassadors, 3 ambassadors. That's just not something we know. The president, vice president, the Senate leadership, congressional leadership, secretaries. But most Americans aren't following it. They don't really care who the UN ambassador is, right? Or who the ambassador to Germany is. I mean, Rick Grenell's visible now because we were putting pressure on Germany to not do business with Iran.
Well, and because the president took so much heat, he's been called a bigot over and over again. And Rick is an openly gay man. And he wanted the world to know that. The president obviously didn't let that stand in the way.
But I don't think it moves the needle in the midterm.
Didn't get him one vote of the LGBT crowd, though.
Right.
It won't.
Right. I don't think it moves the needle. I don't think a man or woman a gay man, a straight woman, a gay woman moves the needle because Americans
I agree, John.
don't
And
care about these positions.
Well, I think more than that, you have a lot of conservatives who are sick and tired of the identity politics, period. So if they feel like the president is playing that, it might not play well.
That's right.
That's a good
I
point.
don't know.
Good point. All right, Clarence.
The best
our good
person
friend,
win, right?
let the best person
That is absolutely
the
right.
conservative way. Clarence McKee, our good buddy, thanks
Speaking
for
of
joining us
best
today.
people.
And be
Good.
sure to read Clarence's latest article on Newsmax.com.
Coming up, top of the hour, we're going to continue our discussion on guns with former Georgia Congressman Bob Barr.
And later in the show, going to be talking more about Kanye West and the media's, let's call it hysterics. Not reaction, hysterics to meeting with President Trump with our good friend Benny Johnson from the Daily Caller. We'll be right back.